Okay, YouTubers. I've run myself into a little bit of a dilemma here. Um, a few of you know I'm building my own solar panels and things like that, and this is what I've run into. Person wants to pay attention when you're ordering off of eBay or Amazon or wherever you're ordering your cells from, especially like your 3x6 cells. I designed this panel, as you can see, and kind of stole the idea from different places that I've found on the internet, using aluminum. And I decided to go with plexiglass on this. Um, why, I'm not sure. Would prefer to go with probably some a little more expensive uh, tempered glass. But here was my dilemma. This panel actually measures 27 and 3/4 by now 55 inches, I think. 55 and maybe some change. And the problem that I ran into was I designed this to be 72 cells. Okay, I've got everything clamped in here. I've got my plexi clamped down because I silicone the edges, and I'm getting ready to put this together. But what I ran into the problem with was when I designed this panel, the cells, of course, measure 3x6. So when I did my measurements and designed my panel, I did it off of 3 inches by 6 inches. Here's the problem. They don't measure 3x6. They're actually 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. And so this panel ended up being short. After all the work and effort, and I busted 2 pieces of plexi and, several dollars in material and labor and things like that, I've come up with a short panel. This is actually capable of only holding 64 cells. So, I redesigned the panel, made it just a little bit shorter so that it's a nice tight fit for the 64 cells. And then I will build an additional add-on for the other 8 and tie those in parallel or series, however I need to do it, to get them to fit the cell or the panel system. So keep that in mind when you're building your panels, to make sure that you just take a minute and do the measurement. Make sure that what you're what you're doing is actually going to work. I feel kind of silly because I hate to throw this project away for the time and money I have invested. But I'm gonna do this. And here's another thing that I want to add to this. Between my cells, I'm going to add this. I don't know if this is going to help or not, and I know this is not a full-time permanent fix because I'm using plexi. This will be the last panel that I build in plexi. What this is, as I'll zoom in, is it's actually 1/4 of an inch wide. It's a piece of plexiglass. Some of the leftover pieces that I had. I'm going to be placing this between the cells in hopes that it will kind of help keep the panel off the cells so it's not melting down or getting too hot or anything like that. I've cut enough of these that I'm actually going to frame the whole works in between the cells and around the outside edge in hopes that it would leave just a little bit of a gap. But my next panel will be same size. Well, actually, the correct size, excuse me. It'll be the correct size for 72 cells. I won't be doing it in 4 rows as this one is. This is actually 4 rows of 16. Should have been 4 rows of 18. My next one will be 8 rows of 9. So I'll redesign the panel around that. It was my own design, but it just I really kind of screwed this one up, and I'm a little embarrassed about it. But it's my panel. I'll do it how I want. I guess the main thing that I was a little bit concerned about was when I first discovered my mistake was whether or not I was even going to be able to salvage it. And turns out I'll be able to. But I guess that's just something to bear in mind. Take the time, if you're going to build these panels, take the time, make sure from the basic measurements that you know exactly what you're dealing with. I found out too late that my panel was too small for my cells, and it's caused quite a headache. So just bear that in mind. If you know, if you have any questions, drop me a message. I'll gladly answer anything I have. I'm no expert. I'm kind of new at this, obviously, but I've learned a lot in the last 6 months. And here's a little bit of what else I'm doing here. I'll show you this as soon as I turn it around. This is my back. This is where I'll be mounting my cells. You can see I've got it all patterned out right down to the last cell. Behind that will be a 1/2-inch piece of plywood. I know this is not the proper way to do this, from what I've learned. Like I said, this will be my last cell panel or system that I'll do this way. The next one I'll build will be, of course, 72 cells, proper dimensions, but I will be using the tempered glass, and I will be encapsulating them with the encapsulating formula that you can buy off eBay. Try to make something a little bit more durable, a little bit longer lasting. I'm kind of curious to see how this panel is going to work out. Heard a lot of people say that the plexiglass will yellow and crack and stuff over time. And one of the things I want to stress, which is quite a valid point when you think about it, is that, you know, you're going out and you're spending $700, $800, $900, $1,000 and buying panels from people like Sanyo, Kyocera, Sharp, different places like that. Yeah, you know, they come with a 25-year warranty. The warranty's great. I think that's fantastic. I'm glad that they can back their their panel systems up like that. But if they're no longer in business in 25 years, yeah, you're still gonna have to pay for a new set of panels. So bear that in mind when you're doing this, and keep building, because you know, we're gonna make a difference here. One panel at a time, one windmill at a time, however we see fit. But this is what I'm doing. A lot of naysayers out there tell me that this can't be done. I'll tell you right now, I'm doing it. At this point in time, I'm 80% off the grid. By fall, I should be 100%. And I'm doing it on a blue collar budget. So just you know, for those who have seen my other videos, there's the control box. Well, the second box. The first one's actually in use right now. This is quite a larger system than my first one. Inside there is, well, I can show you real quick. It's got everything, everything that I need to make this work. Other than it not being waterproof yet, which I'll get to. A little hard to see without any extra light. Let me get some light on it here. Well, that probably didn't help any at all. But let's see here. How do I do that? Well, maybe you can see that a little bit better. But in there is my charge controller and my big power meter. I have a disconnect in there. Down here is a main power out. I'm adding another disconnect, and down there in the corner right there is right there is a battery charger that I can plug into the grid if I have bad nights or bad days where I'm not getting any charge. So that's what I got for right now. Thank you.